Brothers and sisters, the title of the message today is Return to the Source of Life. Number 2, the new creation. Number 5, the salvation of all creation. Number 2, about the issue of sin, each individual have different viewpoint. What is sin? It is very vague in religion. Whether Roman Catholic or Protestant people, they don't have clear viewpoint about original sin. As a conclusion, the whole world is uncertain about life. Not only the world, but Christianity is the world of uncertainty and an era of uncertainty. Moreover, religious pluralism came into being. They would say nobody can firmly insist this is right or this is wrong. The method of climbing up to the mountain may be different, but the purpose of climbing up to the mountaintop is the same. Therefore, the era of uncertainty approached. When we share the gospel to young people, this is the problem. Even we tell them with a great enthusiasm, they would say, how can you say that is the thing that you mentioned is the only truth? After listening to the sermon in the church, they would say, I like your message, but how can you insist that the things that you just said is the only correct truth? That God's work must be easy and comfortable. Whoever that may be, gospel must be easy and simple. How can pastors make new things every time? Is it possible? Because of that reason, Moltmann said, the salvation is already achieved in an objectified way. We have nothing to add up or detract. Not only Moltmann, but Barth also said, the work that God had done was already achieved in an objectified way. I think his words are correct. Our salvation was achieved already. In Jesus, our path was already achieved. All the solution was prepared. There's nothing we have to excavate in a new way. We don't arrive at the salvation by doing something new. Everything was achieved in an objectified way. We don't need to work out a subjectified way. Actually, gospel can be achieved in a subjectified way. Also, nobody can deny that. It is simple. Some people would say, if you can show us the model man, we'll believe. Would it be easy to show a model man who is satisfactory to those people? If a pastor become a model man enough to confess, that is really the true salvation. Everybody will try to believe. But the problem is that someone will agree, but some other people will not agree. And another problem is that how much that pastor must sacrifice. The perfect salvation for all men, perfect salvation for all creatures, we have to recognize, we have to confirm with our own eyes. At that time, God's kingdom would be completed on the earth. But the problem is that the route is very vague. If you don't know where we are going, people would say, how can you say that is the salvation? Surely. And it becomes useless. If people would say people can lead their life this way or that way, why do you insist that people must lead their life only this way? Then it's no use. People will return to 6th chapter of book of Genesis. People lead their life according to their thoughts please and eyes are pleased. This is the end. If Christian people lead their life according to their thoughts please and eyes are pleased, and Buddhists lead their life according to their thoughts pleased and eyes are pleased, and other people lead their life according to their thoughts pleased and eyes are pleased. Thus they would say, when we reach the end, let's measure it. But nobody can reach to the end before they can measure. They may die. They cannot measure and judge. If you want to measure the distance, we not only need a ruler, but you also need a starting point, the original point. Even though we may have the actual ruler and try to measure the distance between the moon and the earth, There must be the starting point, the original point. Just with the ruler, we cannot measure accurately. Those people who measure distance, they always find out the starting point on the ground first. That's why the map is always the same. Without the starting point, we cannot measure the distance. If you want to measure the distance from Seoul train station to Busan train station in Korea, we have to decide the starting point first. The most important thing is the starting point, original point. Without that, there is no salvation and redemption. There is no solution. Without the original point, this man's measuring and that man's measuring are different, and today's measuring and tomorrow's measuring are different. That's why the religious pluralism came into being. Let's walk our own way. There's just one truth. So one day we'll be able to meet together. This is their conclusion. Well, if that's the truth, we can lead our life according to our thoughts are pleased. We don't need to go to church, actually. For those people who studied about salvation, the result of salvation is very vague. They could not get any result about the direction of salvation. Saving all mankind is so vague, as if the theory is floating above the cloud up in the air. Some people mention that Christianity, not the religion of Jesus, but the religion of St. Paul. Every scholar studied and told us the result, but the direction of salvation is missing because they don't talk about themselves. I wrote some words about Jesus who could not jump down from the cross and died at SNS. One man wrote about his opinion. He studied much and he has so much knowledge. He said, how can you say there is nothing else except Jesus who cannot jump down from the cross and died? So I answered, this is not other people's story, but it's your story. I mean, the one who could not jump down from the cross and died is not just Jesus, but it's you. That was my answer. If it's not my story, it's no use. Where am I heading for? I must know where I'm heading for. If I don't know my way, I cannot tell and teach other people. If I don't know about myself, and if I don't know about other people, it's a blind leading blind. Both will fall into pit. Both will fall into ditch. I must go forward even a little bit. Only then I can lead other people that much. Just with the knowledge that I got from the laboratory, I cannot lead other people. I have to experiment in the field. Science was so much developed because they tell the result after they experiment. Scientists cannot tell a lie. But theologians and philosophers cannot tell the truth, even though they really want to tell the truth. Even though they really don't want to tell a lie, but they tell a lie unconsciously because they cannot experiment. So they must experiment first and tell the truth. If they don't experiment, everything is a lie. They don't intentionally tell a lie, but unconsciously they tell a lie. We don't need to talk much, I think. All we have to talk is just my experiences. We can save other people as that much. As Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. That's why Christianity is the best. If you just quote the Bible, it's no use. We have to attach I, myself, and say, I'm the way that is going to my Father. Not other people's Father, but He's my Father. I'm the way that leads to my Father. Son is the way. If He's not the Son, He cannot go to Father. I'm the way that leads to my Father. Even the one man is so great, but he cannot become the way that leads to my Father. I'm the way that leads to my Father. Without myself, nobody can go to my Father. I'm the entity that leads to my Father. I'm the life and eternal entity that leads to my Father. If we say in an objectified, Jesus is the way. In reality, he cannot become the way. I'm the way that leads to my Father. Only then I can become the way. Thank you. Hallelujah. May God bless every one of you. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you.